Hi, I'm Becky Meagher, and welcome to Transitions, Body, Mind, Spirit. Transitions, we have so many different transitions in our life. And I like to use the metaphor of a triathlon, something that I do. In a triathlon, the first thing you do is swim. And then you go to a transition area. And then you bicycle and transition area again. And then you run. And it's such a great metaphor. We start out in our lives thinking we're going to do this, and then there's a big change, and then we change again, and then it's amazing all the different things we never thought we'd do and we ended up doing. So we have a very interesting gentleman today that we've already done one show on, and he is a creative person, even though he likes to say it's work. He has written a couple books, also produced many beautiful productions, videos, and also has been a teacher on and off all his life. And he's going to tell us tonight about songwriting. And Tim Schumacher, welcome.
Thank you. It's nice being here.
I think you are amazing in so many ways, writing songs, and I was hoping that you could kind of give us an inkling to, as a songwriter, how do you come up with these things to write about and to do the music? And I thought if you give us a first example of a song that you have that came from true life.
Let me start. Sure, they all come from true life.
Oh.
I mean, you know. You sit there and you think, well, they're famous. They don't have heartbreaks. Oh, they have much bigger ones than we have, I think. I could tell stories about what's happened to famous people that I've known. I fear fame for that very reason. Everybody's got them. I mean, you know, everybody has their ups and downs. Riding high in April, shot down in May. I mean, you know. And for me, I decided to be a writer when I was very young. The minute I learned that somebody wrote the books I was reading. You know, you're a kid, it's just like, well, there they are. You don't know where it comes from. You don't even think about it, just read it. But yeah, somebody's got to write it. And the minute I knew that people were paid to write, and I was presented with all of these wonderful writers, you know, by my teachers, I said, I want to be one of those people. And ever since I can remember, when anything went really well, I wrote. And when things went really bad, I wrote.
Oh, either one.
Either one. It was my way of fighting back, believe it or not. I just, you know, I keep telling my students, you know, oh, I don't want to write anything. Come on, you know, you got a blank piece of paper, you got a screen in front of you. Speak to it. Let it out, you know, and then if it's terrible, you can just get rid of it. You can rip it up. But at least it's an outlet. And that's how I feel about it. So I remember I got to work on a Steinbeck project up in Salinas, my video thing. And they told me that he would sit in the mornings and write and just sweat. He would write in thick pencil and he would press really hard, you know, and just, you know, and it's work. It's work. I mean, we've taken that part out of it, but these things don't just fall into place. They come from deep in you, and they show up. And if you're a writer, well, you're watching and listening all the time, and things start to get pieced together, and you have something, and it feels good, and it's nice. And so I've never thought of myself as creative. I don't believe it's a creative process. I think it's just life. And you roll with the punches and you respond. So you talked about a song, and I'd like to tell you how the elements of that came together. And then I'll play a piece of it, you know, so that you can hear what it sounds like. Does that sound good? Is it happy?
Sure, yeah. What's the title of the song?
The title of the song is Straight Outta L.A. Now, I wrote this in 1982 or 83. I just moved to Los Angeles. And about 10 years later, 5 or 10 years later, a rap band called NWA had a big album, Straight Outta Compton. Now there's all this straight out everything. Well, I never did anything with the song. It just sat there until I got to Nashville. But when I got to Los Angeles, I was probably certifiably nuts. I had been through so much. I'd gone from the top to the bottom. I was desperate for money. I'm in Los Angeles, for God's sake, and now you're rubbing shoulders with all the greats, all of your heroes, and you feel about that big, you know. There are all these people around you that you know are powerful and successful, and you know, and so there's that you have to fight back with. So there's that big element, and then there was this woman on the other side of the country that I missed very much, but that was really angry with, you know, just all those feelings.
It was heartbreak.
It was just, you know, and when I lived in Denver at the commercial production company, I'd done a song for White Trucks called The Trucker. And they really liked it, and they put records out and everything, used it for promotion. And that song is still probably on a lot of truck drivers, you know, cassettes and so forth. It's an underground thing. It did get on the country charts in Nashville, or the charts for a little bit, but never went anywhere to that effect. But it was a wonderful little song. And I've always liked truck driving things. And then the final element of this song was I was starting to get LA. And one of the things about Los Angeles is, who are you? You know, who are you?
There's an attitude.
And I don't get angry very easily, but if I do, the LA in me comes out, and basically it's, oh yeah, okay, right, fine, who are you? You know that. So there's that element sneaking into it. Got it?
Okay.
Those are the elements.
All right.
Now
here's the song.
Here's the song.
Yes.
And it is on the Songwriter album, done with really great players.
Aha, the Songwriter album,
Yes.
which we happen to have.
Not that
right
you're going to go
here.
scrambling around to find it, but it. So here's the trucking thing, but it's blues. This is a blues song. We've been all through it, and I'm still gonna do it. I simply refuse to retire. You're out on the run, I'm under the gun, so I'm jiggling my end of the wire. My heart's on fire and my wheels are hot, and I don't care what you say. I am a-coming at you, baby, straight out of L.A. I'm getting strong and my sights are beginning to clear. I feel I'm more than just a little carbon atom by a sliver on the greater global ecosphere. I'm on the high gear side of overdrive, so toss your roller blades away, 'cause I'm a-coming at you, baby, straight out of L.A. I've been down in the jungle and I'm running a real short fuse, sitting in the middle of a case of the big orange blue. Excuse my cloud of dust, it's just that I'm just trying to kick it back to you. So polish your trophies and ditch your neuroses and put the coffee on the brew. I am a blasting crew and I can't forget that you were dynamite night and day. So I'm a-coming at you, baby, straight out of L.A. And then it just repeats the bridge and the last chorus and the last verse, and that's that. But you see all the elements there. And the other thing that was happening, rap was coming into the program. And I would play that for friends. It sounds like a rap song. I say, great. Anyway.
So did a rap group cut it?
No, heavens no.
Okay.
It's a little too white bread, I think. But the point is, all of those words, you know, that feel I'm more than just a little carbon atom by a sliver on the greater global ecosphere. You know, it's kind of rap-esque. And I'm a rhyme junkie.
Okay.
I just love rhyme. And so rhymes pop up in that all over the place.
And so where did that song come from in your mind? Where did it come from?
It just was there. I started goofing around with this, The headlights are a-cutting the fog on a midnight highway. This is the trucking song. A 40-ton come a-rolling through the dawn. There's a Blue Ridge Mountain sunrise filling the mirrors. And the ashtray's full, the coffee's almost gone. So it's not too big a jump from that to Straight Outta L.A. And that has become a prototype for me. I've written 10 or 20 songs like that, almost exactly like that. Mm. And the blues comes from Chicago, Wisconsin. It wafts its way up because there's such a blues presence in Chicago. Mm-hmm. So that's how that song happened.
Okay.
Those were the elements. And you say, well, that's very creative. No, it's a collection of stuff that you put together. And you have enough experience to say, well, this isn't very good. Well, maybe that works and so forth. But I never thought anything of it was done. I just was on to the next one. Mm-hmm. And I never did anything with it until I got to Nashville, which was going to be 15 years later.
So you wrote that in L.A., about L.A., and then 15 years...
About the girl in
Nashville. Right. Okay, and that was the emotion that came from bubbled up, and you won't use the word creative, but some...
Polish your trophies and ditch your neuroses. Put the coffee on a brew. Come on, get real. Well...
Right. Okay. All right. So you used your emotions to create, there's got to be a different word than create because you don't like that, to work on this song. And then you have many other songs and a different style. Mm-hmm. And you were going to kind of give us an example of that.
Oh, okay. Well, we're going to do 3. So I'll get this one done. Okay. And this one, I wrote with a wonderful fellow named Terrell. And I wrote, several songs when I was in Nashville about Nashville, because, it's there to write about, and it's all around you, and it has all these elements to it. And I don't know what this is, but I'll just... All of these are going to be in D because I can't hardly play in any other key because my fingers haven't healed from
the regular public doesn't know a D from an F, so...
Well, they may get the idea after the third one. First line is pretty good on this one. Give my regards to Lower Broadway, where the honky-tonks rock with country song. An old Mustang Sally haunts the Ryman's lonely alley, while the tourists drink and dance till dawn. How the girls used to kiss me, now I wonder if they miss me. I reckon the party's going strong. Nashville doesn't know I'm gone. Do you ever see little Miss What's-Her-Name? Wish I knew where the two of us went wrong. But the pickings get mean or lean, and the streets turn mean. When a town turns and battle lines are drawn, I don't think of her much. We kinda lost touch, crossed our Rubicon at the Parthenon. Nashville doesn't know I'm gone. I suppose there's folks still singing for free at the Bluebird Cafe, blinded by the stars in their eyes. like the bums out on the Mont Blanc, freezing in the rain. And yes, I felt that pain once or twice. Harmonica. Wow, 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 wa da da da. Ba da 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 da. Da 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 da. And then the last line, the verse. I'm drifting again, face to the wind, trying to find a place where I belong. Nashville doesn't know I'm gone. No, Nashville doesn't know I'm gone.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
So, is it obvious or that you were about to leave Nashville?
I'd
when you
already
wrote it?
left.
Ah.
I'd already left.
So where you wrote this? Where?
No, I was in Nashville, but I had quit.
Quit.
I'd quit. I just said,
Quit
you know,
what?
I'm tired of beating my head against this wall.
Quit being a songwriter?
Well, quit being Nashville. Quit being here. You know, it just, well, I mean, I had all these things happen, but they just fell through. They just, you know, went crash boom, and then, okay, on to the next one. Well, it took 4 years to get that one somewhere, you know, and you're going,
Meaning you're speaking of a song, and you're trying to get somebody big to cut your song.
Well, yeah.
And it's almost, and it didn't happen. And
I had what was supposed to be a single on a Mercury release, debut album. The president of the label came up to me at the party that, you know, release party. You got a single there. Thank you.
whoa.
From your lips to God's ears. And he wanted it to be, but the artist thought he was a songwriter, which he wasn't.
And can you say who that was?
No.
No.
And he talked the label into putting one of his songs on out instead of the one that he cut of mine, and it sank the album.
Oh.
And I found out that once an album sinks, they'll put a lot of money into it, getting it going, you know, but once it sinks, it takes a lot of money to pump it back up, and they're not going to do it. So stuff like that was happening, you know, and I just went, yeah, well.
That's a very disappointing thing
I'm tired,
when somebody
yeah.
a record label tells you that, and so you kind of sink and go, maybe I don't need to be here. Is that where?
Well, it's just, you know, enough. That's the only. I mean.
So your solution was to go back home to.
Back home, close the circle.
Okay.
And teach.
To Omaha.
Close. I'd have gone to Omaha. I mean, you know, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
Idaho.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
You missed Ohio. That's fun.
Okay, so,
anyway.
you truly left Nashville, and you went away.
Yeah. But before I left, you know, I was already on my horse.
Okay, you're ready, but you're still
writing songs,
working at writing songs.
Yeah. Well, still, sure, because it's therapy, and because I love to do it. I love the writing. What I'm not good at is the promotion of it, and going and knocking on the doors saying, "Excuse me," you know.
Right. Well, so tell us about what your other song that you were going to play is.
Oh, okay. Well, I wrote this one with Jesse Bellamy, who's the son of David Bellamy. I wrote a bunch of really nice songs with, excuse me here. Mike? What?
It's in tune.
You're told it was in tune, so
He's got
we have an
better ears
expert
than
in the
I do.
audience.
Well, anyway, it's real simple. I'm doing simple songs because I can't play, you know, much. I can't
They sound
pick.
great to me,
can't pick.
believe me.
I used to be able to pick like this, you know. But my left hand won't cooperate. And this song about dying, you know, which is what I'm in the process of doing right here.
I think everybody is. The minute the minute you're born, you're going to be dying.
That's right.
Yes.
And it's called Landfall.
Ah.
And it's a great storm metaphor. And I like this one. Once again, 3 chords, simple, brutally simple. The thing about a song, I found myself, I was talking to Mike and Kathy today. We were talking about songs at lunch.
That's
and,
Mike Williams and Kathy Cloninger, your friends.
The greats.
The greats.
2 of the greats. And, you know, this little concoction, this little mechanism, this little tightly wound sort of complex thing that's brutally simple at the same time. And you know, you get down to working at a song, you change one word up at the top, and you got to change something else at the bottom. You know,
Because you got to make it rhyme, right?
Well, it's got to be unified, and it's just a beautiful little thing. And this is simple as pie, simple as pie. And I'd forgotten I even had it. It's on the Roses album, second to the last cut. And the cut is wonderful, you know, it's got a good drum thing. And let me see, maybe get the tempo here, the groove. How the heck does it go? Okay, say. How did I do this? I'll do it this way. I'm a traveler on a heartbeat, kin to the wind, a step ahead of sunset, winding home again, as the harbor lights are winking on, stars are flickering, I sail between the moonbeams, the storm that's coming in, from a tour of duty answering the call. At landfall, my eyes are slowly closing, weary from the ride. My spirit is unfolding like the rolling of the tide. And somewhere in a lifetime, you finally realize you've taken more from this old world than you can leave behind. And you wave a brave goodbye to one and all at landfall. God bless you, sweet Belinda. I really hate to go. Eternity's within you, and you know I love you so. I can hear your footsteps dancing down the hall at landfall. Beautiful instrumental, repeat bridge, out.
Oh, wow.
That's it.
And that was metaphorically about dying.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I intended anyway.
I didn't hear the words, but of that death. But that was figuring out what.
Well, it'll mean, you know, you try to meet the audience halfway, whatever you're doing, and you give them room. You give them room to piece together their own narrative and to think about it. And I run into songwriters all the time, and they have these wonderful hits that I just love, and then they do the song that's closest to them, the one they really like. Well, it's so personal that it doesn't quite get across. And the idea is to work and leave room for someone to, you know, what I strung together there with Jesse was just a series of images, really. There's no narrative exactly. There's no story. It's just pieces, and then they get to put it together the way they want to put it together, and have it mean to them whatever it's going to mean to them.
And didn't you say that there were just some black and white components of songwriting. It could be about love. It could be about different frilly things. What were you
Well, there's many
telling me?
different kinds of songs.
Right.
And when I taught college songwriting, I actually tried to compile a list, and there was at least 20 of them. There's story songs, and there's funny songs, and there's sad songs, and there's breakup songs. I mean, breakup songs, my goodness. They're just spill the file.
Right.
And because so many people go through that all the time, whether it's a big deal in a divorce or whether it's just, not working out. And one of the things I thought when I was in Nashville I would like to do, and I never did, is sit down and write the major events of a relationship from beginning to end. About 20 or 30 of them, meet, infatuation, possibilities, and you'll find there's a song for just about every one of those transitions.
Yes, indeed. And so going forward, you are still writing songs, and you don't have to be in Nashville to do it.
No, I don't.
Right.
I did it pretty good before I got here. But I would say that the best songs in the world come out of here, and it's in the water, and you rub shoulders with all of these great people, and you grow. There's inspiration everywhere, and it's wonderful in that regard. The songwriting part of it, that's what I came for, and that's what I got. I should have pounded on more doors, but I was busy, and that.
But it's not too late. And also, I just want to not only does he write songs, but he writes books too. I mean, for somebody who says they're not creative, I mean, it's pretty amazing. All of this outpouring of intelligence and stories. It can be in something on a CD. It could be live and in person, which I think is very good also. But also you have a book form. I mean, it's pretty amazing, don't you think?
I don't think about it. I don't.
You just do it.
Well, I just think there's
just comes out.
there's so much more work to be done. That's what I think about. So much more work to be done. And half of the time I don't know how to do it. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't do the right things. I do frivolous things. I do comfortable things.
Well, I think your comfortable things are pretty amazing, from songs to books. And Tim Schumacher, thank you for being on the show. There's a second show also, so thank you.
Thank you for inviting me, seriously.
Yes, and that's Transitions, Body, Mind, Spirit.
Oh, see? We did a good show.
Yeah, we got the songs and...
Encore.
Yeah.